morning, good afternoon, good evening, wonderful people of us of freedom all over the world. Wherever you are joining us from today, you are welcome to this wonderful YouTube channel. Now, let us go straight up to this one for those of you who have been seeking for information concerning Mazi Simon Ekpa current state in Finland concerning his court trial and all that. A good news just happened to Simon Ekpa Njoko. A very good news. When I mean a good news, it is a good news. And honestly, we've actually confirmed this information. Make sure you share this video to every Biafran so that they will know what is happening in Biafran land.
Today, being the 14th of July of 2025, a lot of fascinating event has played out over the weekend, and in this video, I'll be giving you a detailed and full analysis of every single thing that has played out behind the scenes. First and first, we have a good news from Finland regarding the case of Mr. Simon, a man held in the Kilamakowski Correctional Center. Yes, we have an exciting news that will definitely change the trajectory and the case of Simon moving on forward. Well, yesterday being the 13th of July of 2025, around 5 p.m. yesterday, Nigerians were greeted with a surprising and a shocking news and revelation regarding the passing on of the former president of the Federation in the person of Buhari. Well, in this video, we shall be giving you some secrets you've never seen or heard before, because a lot of things has played out on or before this guy passed on. Yes, an individual known as Garba Shehu disclosed a lot of info that Nigerians did not pay attention over the past couple of months, and in this video I will be giving you a timeline and breaking down every single thing that has happened and played on behind the scenes. Well, moving on swiftly, we have a news regarding Air Peace. Something happened in Port Harcourt just this weekend where Air Peace flight fortunately escaped an accident. In this video, I'll be giving you a full and detailed analysis. As we speak, the name Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is currently trending on all social media platforms in and around this country. Why is this man's name trending, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Well, we'll be giving you some insider info and revelations regarding why this man is in the news again at this particular point in time. We also have a news coming from Abia State, Nigeria, where something played out in a construction site on Sunday, being the 13th of July of 2025. This is something you definitely need to see, because this will be a trend going on forward. In this video, we have a breaking news coming from Burkina Faso, where Ibrahim Traoré has unveiled a massive construction project that has been completed in that country. In this video, I'll be giving you a clear and detailed analysis on what this man has unveiled. Moving on swiftly, we also received an update regarding the Air India that crashed some time back. Yes, we've received a clear info and an update regarding the cause of that air crash and the reasons behind that particular incident. We surprised a lot of pilots and individuals out there. Moving on swiftly, we received a surprising news and update regarding Hope Uzodinma. This guy has sent a clear and distinctive warnings to all Fulani headsmen in that part of the state. Yes, the sitting governor of Imo State have sent a letter instructing the Fulani headsmen to do something on or before the 24th of July of 2025, or else drastic actions and decisions will be taken. So the question here is, what has Hope Uzodinma instructed Fulani headsmen to do? Well, in this video, I'll be giving you a clear and distinctive reportage on every single thing you need to know and understand. Well, moving on swiftly, in this third video, we have a shocking news coming from the daughter of Iyabo Ojo. Yes, the daughter of Iyabo Ojo, who got married just recently, has done something that will raise a lot of eyebrows in and around the African continent. So this video is going to be fully packed with info, with details and updates, and I'll urge you not to miss any part of this video, because we have a lot of things to say regarding the passing on of Buhari and how we suspect this guy did not actually pass on yesterday. This guy probably has passed on a couple of days before today. So in this video, I'll be giving you a clear revelation. Well, with all of that being said, let's kickstart this video with our very first update. As mentioned previously, something happened in a construction site in Abia State, Nigeria, just yesterday. Yesterday being the 13th of July of 2025. So what really happened? Well, take a look at this article showing right now on your screen, where it states gunmen in army uniform reportedly on a live soldier and also a driver in a construction site attack. Well, for clarity, take a look at this article showing right now on your screen. It states, according to credible information gathered exclusively by ABN TV, the incident occurred around 8:21 a.m. on the 12th of July of 2025. The attackers, numbering about 6, reportedly arrived at the site on 3 motorcycles, wearing military camouflage and armed with assault rifles. Eyewitnesses said the gunmen stormed a construction site operated by a Chinese engineering firm, opened fire on the workers and unalived one of the drivers. A soldier providing security at the site was also unalived, with his rifle allegedly taken by the attackers before they fled. Investigative findings by ABN TV indicate that the assailants may have crossed over from a neighboring state and are believed to be part of a notorious kidnapping gang. Sources also allege that the attack was led by a suspected criminal with military training who is currently on the run, and this happened yesterday, being the 13th of July of 2025 in Abia State, Nigeria, in a construction site. This is a clear indication that everybody should be on an alert, because according to this reportage, this is actually a trend that has been playing out in Abia State for a while now. Well, moving on swiftly, something happened in Port Harcourt this weekend that sent fears and shivers into the hearts of travelers who boarded an Air Peace aircraft. So what really happened? Well, yesterday, being the 13th, an Air Peace aircraft left Lagos State Airport, Ikeja, and it was headed to the Port Harcourt Airport. These guys got to Port Harcourt, and if you've lived and you know Port Harcourt very well, you know that it rains every single day and time in Port Harcourt. Yes. So the moment this aircraft that flew in from Lagos State wanted to land at the Port Harcourt Airport, the runway was actually very slippery and wet because of the downpour. Yes, because of the constant rain in that part of the country. So this aircraft, this Air Peace aircraft, known as the flight P47190, landed on the runway in that airport, and this particular aircraft had to skid out of the runway and almost moved into the untarred area of that airport, which would have probably led to different forms of casualties. Well, showing right now on your screen is a reportage of the Air Peace incident, and this was first published on Facebook by Air Peace itself through their media outlets. But fortunately, nobody was hurt in this process, and the aircraft is still in perfect condition. But interestingly, when we saw this news, we had to do some research regarding why this incident happened in the first place, because if it can happen today, it's very possible that tomorrow it will still happen, because we're in a rainy season, which means the runways will be wet moving on forward till we get to the dry season. So we had to do some research, and showing right now on your screen is something we found that the Nigerian government needs to look into. Yes, this states incident in perspective. This is not Air Peace's first runway approach mishap. The 2019 Port Harcourt incident involved a 737 that exited the runway during heavy rain with no injuries. The airline has recorded several incidents historically, though most have involved no casualties. So as you can see, this said issue happened in Port Harcourt Airport in 2019, which was still caused by heavy rainfall. And as we speak, the Nigerian government are yet to do anything about it, because if you know that your runways are usually wet and it's going to be a problem for aircraft to land, there are some steps you should take. There are some measures you definitely need to put in place. You trust the Nigerian government. They are very quick in reacting. They know how to react to incidents, but they find it very difficult to stop that incident from happening. Well, take a look at this. These are some reactions and some commentary coming from different bodies in Nigeria. The very first one here is the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, confirmed passenger safety and completion of this embarkation. The other one is Youth and Environmental Advocacy Center in Nigeria, known as YEAC, called for enhanced pilot training, especially for landings in wet runway conditions to avoid future runway excursions. We also have, as of now, Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, the NCAA, has not issued an official statement, and an investigation is underway. As you can clearly see, Nigerians and its government knows how to react to incidents, but to stop such things from happening is a problem for them. Well, showing right now on your screen is what Nigeria can do specifically. These are some measures that the Nigerian government can put in place to avoid something like this from happening in the future. As you can clearly see, pay attention to the highlighted part of this whole publication. It states, Port Harcourt, Enugu, Calabar, Owerri need better runway grooving and drainage. So as you can see, it's simple. Put a proper drainage system in your runways, and this will help mitigate against runway wetness. It also states, often flood prone during rainy season. This is something the Nigerian government know clearly, and they have failed to put other measures in place. We urge the Nigerian federal government to look into this case so as to avoid any future reoccurrence. Well, moving on swiftly, let's take a trip to Burkina Faso. But mind you, we have interesting info regarding Nnamdi Kanu and Buhari's passing on. We did some quick investigation and we have a lot of info to share with you in this video. We also have a massive one coming from Simon's case, and you definitely need to stick around to find out. But before then, let's take a trip to Burkina Faso because we have a good news coming from that part of the African continent. Well, for clarity, take a look at this article coming from that country. State Ibrahim Traore unveils $300 million world-class stadium in Burkina Faso. The article also gave us clarity where it states Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso, in a landmark moment for Burkinabe sports and infrastructure. Interim President Ibrahim Traore has inaugurated the newly refurbished August 4th Stadium, a $300 project set to host the country's first home football match in over 3 years. Eyes of Lagos reports. The unveiling comes after years of infrastructural decline and security concerns, which had forced Burkina Faso's national team, the Stallions, to play international fixtures abroad since 2021. Well, showing right now on your screen is the scope of that project and every single thing within. So as you can clearly see, the stadium has the state-of-the-art renovation, includes modern digital scoreboards, VIP lounge and media facilities, upgraded seating arrangements, Olympic-grade athletics track, refurbished training centers and gymnasiums. With CAF and FIFA now officially approving the stadium for international matches, the Stallions are set to return to home turf this September, this year and time. This is a massive one for the country of Burkina Faso, and kudos to the African leaders, kudos to Ibrahim Traore for making this project come into fruition. Well, let's take a trip to Imo State because the governor of that state, Hope Uzodinma, has done something nobody expected him to do. Yes, nobody expected this man to be this decisive in nature. So the question here is, what has this guy put off and how will it benefit the people of Imo State moving on forward? Well, take a look at this article coming from Igbo History and Facts, where it states, breaking news, Imo State government gives headers July 24th, 2025 deadline to end open grazing. When we saw this particular notification, we had to do some research to be sure this is coming from Hope Uzodinma. Yes, we had to verify and fact check this article coming from Igbo History and Facts. Well, we did. Showing right now on your screen is an article coming from the Vanguard. It states, Imo government gives headers July 24 deadline to end open grazing. Well, for context, showing right now on your screen is every single thing you need to know about this deadline coming from Hope Uzodinma. It states deadline and enforcement details. Deadline date. The Imo State government has mandated that all cattle headers must end open grazing within state boundaries by the 24th of July of 2025, especially within Owerri, the state capital. Official motive. The directive issued by a commissioner aims to ensure public orderliness, protect farmers' crops, and maintain socio-economic stability in Imo State, Nigeria. Well, the article also gave us more clarity regarding this case, where it states why this directive matters. The very first one is conflict reduction. We have crop damage. We also have livestock support provided. This is a nice one coming from the sitting governor of that state. And this definitely will prevent or reduce these herders moving their cattle in major cities in Nigeria. So the question here is, how will this whole thing be implemented? We all know that the Fulani herdsmen are very, very stubborn, and these people basically don't even listen to the news or try to get updates regarding the current happenings in the country. So how will these guys be informed, and how will this whole thing be implemented? We'll take a look at this. Community engagement and leadership. Herders rep. The government has officially recognized Alhaji Shuaibu as the leader of the herders in the state. He pledges to relay the directive to other herders and secure compliance. We also have commitment to peace. Shuaibu expressed regret for past disruptions and affirmed the group's intention to cooperate, highlighting a shared goal of a harmonious, clean Imo State. So what do you think about this whole thing? Do you think these guys will respect the declaration coming from the state government, or do you think these Fulani herders will disobey the instructions coming from the state government and nothing will happen to them? Well, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I really want to know what you think about this whole situation and how you feel about it. Well, moving on swiftly, let's take a look at our next update. We have a news coming from Sky News regarding the India airplane crash that happened some time back. Sky News has given us a full clarity on why and how that particular plane crashed the way it did. Well, take a look at this article coming from Sky News. It states, fuel to engines of Air India plane that crashed, cut off moment after takeoff, reports find. The article gave us clarity where it states, fuel to engine of the Air India plane that crashed last month appears to have cut off shortly after takeoff, a preliminary report has found. According to the report by India's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, known as the AAIB, switches in the Boeing 787 Dreamliner's cockpit that controlled fuel moved to a cut-off position. It said Engine 1 and Engine 2 fuel cut-off switches transitioned from run-off to cut-off position, one after another, with a time gap of 1 second. The engine N1 and N2 began to decrease from their takeoff values as the fuel supply to the engines was cut off. Well, this article also went a step further to give us more clarity on why that aircraft crashed, and it will not bore you with all of the details, but you can pause this particular part of the video to read up and understand and see things for yourself. Anyways, moving on swiftly, if you find this video interesting, informative, and valued, please do well to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss any news and updates coming from Nigeria, Finland, USA, and the rest of the world. So please subscribe and turn on post notifications. Well, moving on swiftly, this morning, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's name has been trending on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and other social media platforms of the world. Yes, Nnamdi Kanu is in DSS Correctional Center. There, he's currently being held up. And why is his name trending? Why is this man's name everywhere as we speak? Well, let me give you some highlights and give you some detailed breakdown. Just yesterday, we know that the former president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, passed on sometime around 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. thereabouts. Well, showing right now on your screen is the most popular or the infamous tweet coming from this man that will definitely not sit well with a lot of Igbos and people from the southeast region of Nigeria. This tweet post, many of those behaving today are too young to be aware of the destruction and loss of lives that occurred during the Nigerian civil case. Those of us in the field for 30 months who went through the case, we treat them in a language they will understand. And this is coming from Buhari when he was the president of the Federation, threatening the whole eastern region. And subsequently, this led to the point where Twitter deleted this particular tweet coming from Buhari, and it led to Twitter being banned in Nigeria for some months, and the whole conversations went on and on. So what is the bottom line, and what is the context of this whole conversation? Well, this man is dead, but then Nnamdi Kanu said that this guy has passed on years back. He believed that a man known as Jubril from Sudan has been ruling the country, and many individuals felt like Nnamdi Kanu was being gibberish in nature or saying nonsense, but things has changed. Many are calling this man a prophet. Many say that Nnamdi Kanu saw the future from years back, and he predicted what will happen right about now. So let's start with Buhari. This man passed on yesterday, but then something fishy played on before his passing on. Something very, very fishy played on, and many Nigerians did not pay attention to the details within. Many Nigerians did not pay or paid little attention to it. Let me explain. A man known as Garba Shehu, who happens to be a Nigerian journalist and a politician who served as a senior special assistant to media and publicity to former President Buhari, made some revelations, and he released a lot of trails of events before Buhari's passing on was announced yesterday. Let me show you. Showing right now on your screen is something Garba Shehu made public. Remember, Garba Shehu is Buhari's spokesperson. This article reads, Garba Shehu, my worst experiences under Buhari, and this was released last year. Yes, it was released in 2024, where Garba Shehu exposed his worst experiences under Buhari's administration. Well, for context, take a look at this. It states, in a BBC interview held in mid of 2024, Shehu recounted two of his most regrettable moments as Buhari's spokesperson. The first one is initially relayed incorrect security information following the Zabamari massacre, referring to the victims as having no permission to be there, later regretting the comment. The second is after the Kankara school abduction. He mistakenly stated not more than 10 persons has been kidnapped, a figure he later acknowledged was incorrect once the truth emerged about 270 students. So this man, Garba Shehu, came up to tell Nigerians, see, I lied to all of you when I was working under Buhari as a spokesperson. I lied to all of you. I gave you wrong information about the security infrastructure in the state. I gave you wrong statistics about things that happened in the northern part of Nigeria regarding insecurity. I want you guys to forgive me, and I want you guys to know the truth. This was released last year. So one thing you should know, that this man has shown signs of guilt. Okay? Moving on swiftly, take a look at this article released by Garba Shehu on the 7th of July last week. It states, Garba Shehu, Buhari grateful to APC, won't undermine Tinubu. So this man yet again came out to give revelations about his boss, Buhari, stating that, see, Buhari is grateful to the All Progressive Congress and he will never undermine the progress or undermine the government of Bola Tinubu. What showing right now on your screen are his exact words. He states, APC came together and gave him 2 terms for which he has remained grateful, and says, and that's why I've learned from him, I will never be ungrateful. I will never betray the party that gave me 2 terms in office. This is Garba Shehu yet again speaking for Buhari, and Buhari couldn't say this all by himself. Hope you guys are paying attention to every single thing that is playing on here between Garba Shehu and Buhari. The very first time Garba Shehu came out to ask for forgiveness regarding what he did under the administration of Buhari. The second time he came out to tell Nigerians that, and the APC, that Buhari is grateful to the party and he will not undermine Tinubu. What does this mean? Well, we'll come back to this in a second. We'll take a look at this particular one showing right now on your screen. And this is from the 13th of July of 2025, where Garba Shehu released a book. Showing right now on your screen are some pictures taken from that day and time where this guy launched his book. Well, in that book, that man made a serious revelation. Showing right now on your screen is that revelation where it said Garba Shehu confesses rat infestation story was a lie to hide Buhari's health crisis. Well, just in case you understand. Back in 2017, Buhari traveled to London to receive medical care, and the news that this man was very sick went viral. A lot of media outlets in Nigeria exposed and covered that news. Garba Shehu came up with a news to distract the attentions of Nigerians on the health of their president by stating that the Aso Rock Villa has received widespread of rats in their vicinity, even in the rooms and kitchens of the president. But that was a lie. It was done to divert the attention of Nigerians to something else. Hope you guys are getting the picture. Garba Shehu knew something Nigerians did not know. Garba Shehu, first of all, confessed about the lie he told Nigerians back in Buhari's regime. He did that, first of all, to possibly clear his conscience. He knew something was going to play on in this particular day and time. So he told Nigerians to forgive him about the lie he told during the administration of Buhari. That was in 2024. He also came up to tell Nigerians that, and the APC, that Buhari will not undermine the governance of Tinubu. That was done to protect the image of Buhari in the All Progressive Congress. And 2 days ago, on the 12th of July, he launched a book, and he states that the rat infestation in the Aso Rock back in the day was pure lie and a full-fledged fallacy. This guy was passing an info to Nigerians that we did not pick at that particular point in time. This guy was trying to wash his own image because he knew that this day will come. Yes, he knew that this announcement will be made at this particular point in time. And that is why he needed to clean his own name off the records of Buhari. So Garba Shehu, together with every individual close to the family, knew when to announce the passing on of Buhari. So if these guys knew when to announce it, it simply means that it's very possible that this guy, Buhari, did not pass on yesterday. It's still highly possible that he has passed on days or months before now. Because from the trails of all of these events, if you put everything together, you know that Garba Shehu knew what he was doing. Yes, and around 5:11 p.m. yesterday, they said Garba Shehu is the very first individual who announced the passing on of Buhari. Yes, Garba Shehu is the first person in the whole world who announced it, who knew and announced it. Well, showing right now on your screen is the confirmation from Garba Shehu, released, like I said, 5 p.m., 11 past 5 yesterday.
Let us stop there and go straight up to other news. So many reactions have been coming up concerning Buhari's death, and funny enough, they are linking everything to the prophecies of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was smart enough, to decipher the death of Buhari, knowing fully well that whoever was there to replace Buhari was actually Jubril. Now, let us go straight up to the information. Cabal, British government finally played last joker as Nnamdi Kanu's brother speaks on Buhari's death. A younger brother of detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, Kanunta, has reacted to the death of the former president Muhammadu Buhari. Kanunta said the cabal and British government have finally played their last joker. He posted the message on his X page while recalling how it was reported that Buhari died in 2018. Now, in 2017, Buhari spent 5 months in Britain, where he was being treated for an undisclosed illness. During his illness, IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu claimed that Buhari was cloned with an imposter, Jubril of Sudan. Upon his return in 2018, the late former president insisted that he was not dead, stressing that he was not the alleged Jubril of Sudan. Buhari former spokesperson Garba Shehu disclosed the former president's death on Sunday. Shehu said Buhari died in clinic in London on Sunday, where he was treating an undisclosed illness. Reacting, Kanunta posted on X, General Muhammadu Buhari is dead for the second time. Finally, the cabals and the British government have played their last joker on a hopeless country called Nigeria. And I will call that same country the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom, Nigeria. They will continue to fool you guys because you people have actually brought yourself to the level of being fools. It's as simple as that. It is when you allow the British government and the rest of them continue to fool you. That is when they will continue, to have access to fool you. Because now you give them the access, right? Yeah. Nnamdi Kanu disclosed this. And everybody, so many people. It was just few people who believed in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's words. Few of us who have actually been following the preaching and gospel of Nnamdi Kanu, because we believe in what we see. We don't believe in trial and error. We believe in what we are seeing. And the reality is that everything he has actually predicted came to reality. So what else do you want me to doubt it? So finally, after 2 years of leaving office, they decided, to come to the conclusion that Buhari is dead. Renewing it for the second time. The same thing that pied him the first time is the same thing that they claimed quite pied him now. This sickness will not get name. This sickness will not get name. We be say they always cover. Which kind of sickness be that? This kind of sickness be that. The first time they said he died over undisclosed sickness. They don't want to mention the sickness that pied Buhari the first time. In fact, I dropped a video earlier today. You can go and watch that video. So many people are coming out to say that they are going to make investigation on this whole shenanigan of Buhari's death. Buhari has been died, far back. I don't even think people should waste their time, going and making inquiries on his death, because it's a waste of time to me. It's a waste of time to me. If you just want to just go to the videos of Nnamdi Kanu back then, he gave you clean analysis on Buhari, clinical analysis with evidence. In fact, he gave a lecture. Nnamdi Kanu gave a lecture, a very strong lecture on that. So don't get carried away by these people. Don't get carried away by the government of the zoo, because the government of zoo is good for their line. Thank you once again for joining us, and make sure you share this video.